Time to cook up a Bears Now mailbag. I am Harrison Graham. Shout out to Shout Out City. He kicks us off. Could the Bears trade for Cam Robinson to start at left tackle? Looks like Ursery is going to beat him out in Houston. I knew that. How many times did I mock Ariante Ursery to the Chicago Bears? Now, listen, I'm glad we have Luther Burden, but just want to throw that out there. That guy's a beast. I knew he was going to be good. As far as going this route, it's kind of the nuclear option, right? Where, like, if none of these guys can win the job, do you look external? You got to do that pretty quick, I would think, if that's going to be your week one left tackle. Now, Cam Robinson's a vet. I think he could do the job. He's not great. He's pretty good in pass pro. He's average to below average in run blocking, but he is a pretty decent pass protecting left tackle. And he was in line to start, and he got nicked up recently in Ursery, who was getting work at right tackle, flipped back to his natural position left, and apparently looks fantastic. So, listen, I mean, if you could get him for like a 6th or 7th round pick, I would certainly be open to that. But if you're going to trade for a left tackle, to me, that's got to be like, okay, you're coming in to start. Because if it's just, well, he could start or he's a good backup, it's like, oh, you kind of have a lot of those. You have a lot of good backups, lower-end starters with the Braxton Jones, the Ozzie Trapillos, the Theo Benedicts of the world. So we'll see what happens here, but I would guess they don't go that route because that's kind of the nuclear option. But if a starting caliber left tackle hits the market and you can get him for cheap, I mean, it'd be hard to say no at this point based on what we've seen throughout training camp. What do you think? Do the Bears need to trade for a left tackle? Do they need to go out and get someone who's not on the team right now? Type Y for yes and for no. Needs a strong word. Should it be something to explore? Yeah, I mean, keep your eyes open if you're Ryan Poles. Maybe there's a surprise cut somewhere for a guy with starting experience. We'll have to wait and see. Donald Lear, do you think they are showcasing Booker to include in a trade for Parsons? No, I think they're playing him a lot because they need a third edge rusher. Now, if an opportunity popped up and a team wanted Booker in a blockbuster trade for that, sure, but they're playing Booker a lot because they need him to produce. Period, end of story. He needs to develop. He needs to get reps. So, that could be a secondary benefit, but I don't think they're playing him. It's like, well, we need him to play and play well so we can trade him for Micah Parsons. They know deep down trading for Micah, even if they wanted to, is a long shot at best. They're playing him, and he's playing well, and that's a good thing because the Bears need him to develop. All right, Matty, do you think Duvernay will be used consistently outside of returning, even with DJ getting snaps in the backfield? I would not expect him to play much on offense. Gadget plays here and there, you might see him, but he's wide receiver 5 at best. I mean, you got DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Olamide Zaccheaus, and Luther Burden. Those are your top 4. Probably would say Duvernay is your 5th guy. Then that 6th spot is up for grabs if they keep 6 with the Miles Boykin, the Jade Walkers of the world. So we'll kind of see where that goes. I need to update that, by the way. John Jackson was cut. That's on me. But, I don't think Devin Duvernay – I think if he's on this team, his primary role is as a returner. And by the way, side note, he got dinged up in warm-ups before the game the other night. That's why he didn't play. Subscribe to the channel. We got Bears content all year long, during the season, in the off season, even in the deadest times of the years in June and early July. We got you guys covered. Hit that subscribe button for free and daily content. DMV scenes, what would you view as a successful season for Caleb Williams and the Bears as a whole? I think Caleb, without putting raw numbers on it, just like, I don't know, you kind of know when you see it. Like last night, it's like, yeah, like it's just clicking. Like he's playing with rhythm. He's throwing the ball with confidence and accuracy. He's making plays. Obviously, you want to see him make some of those plays after the play because that is something that makes him unique. But just taking a clear step forward, consuming the offense, growing, building. By the end of the season, you feel good about him as your franchise guy. Like I think that's what you want to see. And as the Bears, at minimum, be in the playoff hunt, and not fake playoff hunt. Not you're 5-8 and you're the last team listed in the hunt graphic. It's like, yeah, you get into December with a real shot to make the playoffs. If you don't make it, you wouldn't love that, but a real chance once December gets here to make the playoffs, that should be the minimum of what we're hoping for. Maximum, like won the division. I don't know if this team's good enough to do that, but I think this defense is going to be pretty damn good. And if Caleb is above average, I think Ben Johnson's play calling and play design alone is going to make this offense much better. Tony Williams, how about this one Caleb consistent season? He grows, but finishes 8-9, misses the playoffs. For Caleb, up and down year with flashes, but make playoffs 9-8. I mean, out of an 8-9, 9-8 comparison, I'll take whichever one Caleb clearly grows and plays better. Because if you sneak in at 9-8, you're probably not doing much in the playoffs, especially if Caleb's up and down. But if Caleb's hooping, he's balling, by the end of the year, you feel good about him being your guy long term. That's a success in its own. And by the way, if he does that, you're probably a playoff team. Like if Caleb plays like a top 12 guy this year, I'd be pretty surprised if they weren't in the playoffs. I just think this defense is going to be very good. And I think that if Caleb plays at that level, they're going to be able to run the ball. A lot of weapons. O-line should at least be solid. Left tackle's a concern, but I'm all in on the Caleb is your long-term answer hypotheticals. That's the path I'm going to choose just about every time. Now, if you say they're 15-2 and Caleb's up and down, or 8-9, like, yeah, I'll probably take 15-2. But I don't think they're going 15-2 if the quarterback's inconsistent. Just a hunch. Speaking of the quarterback, you want to get his jersey? They're only $100. Nike Authentic Caleb Williams jerseys. Usually Nike Authentic NFL jerseys start at $120. This one is $100. Chatsports.com/Caleb jersey. You can get it in the navy or the orange. You can toggle it over to the orange once you go to that link if you want. Chatsports.com/Caleb jersey. All right, Osmotic74, how important is it to make a move for a defensive end now that we have injuries with Dom, Rob, and Booker? To be clear, as of filming on Monday, we don't know the severity of those, but let's be honest, even if they're healthy, do you still feel great about that room? I'm feeling better about Booker. I think he can contribute. How much, to be determined, but I think he'll contribute more than last year. Dom, Rob, we'll see. I do think he has improved. I have seen tangible improvement. Is it enough to be a factor on game days? I'm not sure. Tano Passanio, I think, is an okay rotation player. I think he's flashed a couple times, but even if they're all healthy, you could still make the argument that adding a Zadarius Smith, someone like that, would help this group out tremendously. Certainly, if one of them's hurt, even if it's just for the first few weeks, I'd still be looking to add a pass rusher there. Eddie Murphy, can we get Trey Hendrickson? Have we made a move for him? I assume you mean has there been like a offer or something like that? If the Diana Rossini reported offer of they want a first and a player is true, no thanks. Like, that's just a ridiculous ask. I'm not trading a first-round pick and a player. Like a first-round pick and like Booker for Trey Hendrickson? No, I'm not doing that. The Bengals don't have a lot of leverage here, so I'm not in that business. But yeah, I mean, look, if the price is right, I'd consider it. I tweeted out the other day, I'm like, I might be out on Hendrickson. But if the price came down, if it's like a 2 or a 3 and no player, like you could talk me back into it pretty easily. But definitely not doing a 1, and I'm sure as hell not doing a 1 and at least a decent player. I just don't. Like, if I'm sending a player, it's, you want Dominique Robinson, you can have him. But, if it's like a 3rd in Austin Booker, like, okay, like we can have a discussion. But a 1st in Austin Booker, not going that route. All right, guys, do you want Caleb and the starters to play against the Chiefs? Depending on when you're watching this, we may already have the answer here, but I want to know what you would do. Would you play him? Would you sit him? Give us your thoughts in the comments section. All right, time for a few more. DC Viper, who is now on your roster bubble list after week 2 of the preseason? Guys on the top of my list, Miles Boykin, Jade Walker, all of the running backs after the first couple. Like, someone's going to make the team. Joel Wilson, Steven Carlson, do they keep one of those guys as a 4th tight end? Karan Amagaji, I think he's right there on the bubble at this point. Nick McLeod, Trey Flowers with the injuries at corner, he could sneak onto the team. Those are a handful. I'll probably do a roster bubble video either heading into this preseason game or after the game, TBD. But those things are. I would guess for 53 spots, the Bears are probably down to 60 or so players, and they got to trim that down. So time will tell. Clock's ticking. Mark Peterson, I think Breece Hall would be a good addition. Thoughts on a potential trade idea? Probably not more than a 5th for me. It's kind of like the Brian Robinson deal. Like, I like both players. Probably Breece Hall a little more. I think he's got a little more upside and juice, especially as a receiving back. But if these teams are willing to kick these guys out the door, like, I'm not giving, better than a fifth. I'd probably go a 5 for Breece Hall and a 6 for Brian Robinson. That's probably where I'm at. Breece Hall, to me, has never quite reached his full potential in the NFL. He's a solid back, but we haven't seen him remember, was it like before last year or the year before, he was going like top 3 in fantasy drafts, and he's been fine. He's been good. He's a good player, but he's not a top 10 back. He's honestly, they're different style backs, but he's much closer to DeAndre Swift in terms of just where he ranks in the league than, Josh Jacobs or someone like that. So I like the player. If it's a 5th-round pick, I'd probably do it, but I'm not doing a 3. I don't think I'm doing a 4. So, yeah, if the trade's right, I'm in. Otherwise, I'm probably out. All right, there you have it. Appreciate all of your questions here on today's Mailbag episode. If you have any more, you know where to find me. At HGramNFL, Twitter, Instagram. DMs are wide freaking open. Follow me first, then DM me. We could talk some shop about the Chicago Bears.